Whoa, what?
Whoa.
That was different. Okay, welcome to episode 10, our spooky Halloween episode of Star Wars Culture Live, a fairly new podcast focusing on Star Wars excitement and connection, your escape pod for hyperspace buzz and fandom fixes. I am Ian, Rebel Pilot, Red 5, Red 88, I don't know. This is Marty, and we are in our first era called A New Hype, if you will. Since we're a somewhat new podcast, enjoying the hype for a franchise and a fandom that's been around for 47 years. If you are on the internet at all, ever, you know Star Wars fans can get a little toxic and not really fun to be around, especially whilst discussing Star Wars. But that's not what this podcast is. This is where the fun begins. It feels great to say that line while wearing a pilot helmet. I just have to say it.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Oh, yeah, it feels amazing. It feels right. Anyway, we want to talk about the things we love about Star Wars, how it enriches our lives, the things we love about the community, the culture, the fans, the media, anything at all. So, throughout the show or afterwards, if you have anything for us, reactions, questions, requests, suggestions for future segments, anything at all, throw them in the comments and we will see what we can do. And don't forget to check us out on all the socials and on all the audio podcast sources as well, specifically definitely Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. If you have a question or a comment or anything, we will read it on the air. As I said, today is the Halloween episode, in case you couldn't tell by our drip, our fits here. As always, we're going to start with host facts. So quick fun facts about each host to help you get to know us a little bit better. So Marty, take it away.
Okay. I feel like everyone kind of knows me a little bit at this point. Let's see if something else. Oh, okay. I have started to learn how to do solo RPGs slash dungeon crawlers. My favorite right now is this little dungeon crawler called 4 Against Darkness. It's got a lot of supplements added to it right now. I'm just working on the base core book, but it's really fun. Very simple rules. You control like 4 characters going through dungeons of whatever random design that you roll the dice on. It's really fun. I'm quite enjoying it.
I like it. That's awesome. I have never even really tried to get into those like, I know, right? I'm trying to fix this. I haven't tried hard enough to get into those RPG games. They're like, it's such a time suck, and it's a fun time suck. But like, I unless you can save literally anytime you want, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work.
Well, this is a tabletop too, so you can take it on the go. Whatever. Yeah, sorry.
Well, there you go. Oh, sorry. No. I totally could have inferred, but also, yeah, no. All right, tabletop. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you could pause that whenever you freaking want.
Oh, yeah.
My host fact today is a little different. So since it's Halloween, my stepson is 12 years old, and I gave him the permission to come and scare me once at one point during this podcast. Apparently, I get super, like, I'm in my, like, it's like a corner of the family room, dining room area. And apparently I get super, like, into this, or super hyper focused on whatever's happening. And I am not aware of things going on over there. And I have given him permission, if he thinks he can, to come scare me at one point during this podcast. I don't know when it's going to be, and I don't know what it's going to look like. He said he's going to like touch me on the shoulder or something. I don't know, but he has permission from me to come scare me once. The only stipulation is it has to be after 7:15. I wanted to be able to explain it and get all the intro stuff done. And he has to make sure that I am not holding my beer while he's doing it. Those are the only rules. He can come at any point. So at some point during this podcast, I will scream like a small child. And that'll be that's part of the plan. It's going to be fine. Just it's part of the plan. Just wanted everyone to know. Just wanted everyone to be. Oops, it's not supposed to be trivia. It's supposed to be host facts. Yeah. Just wanted everyone to be aware of that. So, just yeah. There's that. That's my host fact. All right, so let's move to HoloNet news. I have some stuff. We got some stuff this week. One of the first ones is just a fun one for me as a football fan. Star Wars actress Daisy Ridley. If you don't know, she is Rey. She's right here. She is a Vikings fan, and she went to a Vikings game in a Vikings jersey. Justin Jefferson, best receiver, respect. And she did. There's another photo. I don't know if it's on here, but she did the skull chant. I don't know what it is. It's like a Vikings thing, but she did that with the Minnesota Vikings mascot, which is pretty fun. Pretty cool little worlds colliding there as a football fan and a Star Wars fan. It was cool to see. Also, seems kind of unfair that like one of the greatest Jedi in current canon history is a Vikings fan. Seems kind of unfair. I mean, they're like 6-1 right now or something. So I don't know. I feel like we get Snoop Dogg, but like I don't think he can use the Force. I don't know he can't, but like I'm not sure. I don't know if he can.
Well, he's a Mandalorian. I don't know if you've seen a music video that he's done, but it's all in like Mandalorian outfits.
That's right, he is. Oh, so he's Mando over. They know how to fight some Jedi. That's like their whole thing. Okay, all right. I feel better about it now. I need a Steelers Mandalorian outfit. I'm gonna Google that for next time. Culture Slate.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. So anyway, that's that little piece of news there. The other one is that Empire Magazine keeps churning out with these behind the scenes skeleton crew photos. They look awesome. There's what's his name? Vane. Why I didn't start at the beginning. Does it just keep cycling without me? All right. Huh. There's Jude Law with some stuff. There's wow. Yeah, pirates on the pirate ship. Close-ups. Nice. Oh my god, I would die for him. Look at him. If anything happens to him, I swear. Talking about some stuff.
More behind the scenes.
Look at that setting. That is gorgeous.
Now, is that the volume or is that actually on set? I would say it's the volume, right?
Oh, I have no idea.
I'm just going to assume it is. I mean, that's pretty cool either way.
That's too good to be true, right?
Yeah.
Is that where they filmed that?
Yeah, I would say it's the volume.
Ooh, speeder bikes. Look at him on the speeder bike. Oh my god. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, they keep releasing. I'm like, oh, new photos, and then Empire like the next week. I actually get them from Star Wars Underground. Little plug there. Star Wars Underground.
Underworld.
Yep, I did it again. Star Wars Underworld. I keep seeing it on their Instagram, and it's like Empire released new photos. I'm like, oh my god, they're not even on like the Star Wars Facebook. Yep, Underworld. No one heard that except for you. Anyway, yeah. So those are my two news pieces. I know Marty has a couple. What you got?
Okay, I have no photos for these, but The Mandalorian Season 3 and Ahsoka Season 1 are coming out to Blu-ray and 4K Ultra this December.
Beautiful.
And Kylo Ren is back in a Marvel Star Wars comic series called Star Wars Legacy of Vader.
Also beautiful.
We don't get a whole lot of Kylo Ren, so I'm kind of happy for this one to come out, actually.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things where it's like I feel like I could surmise a lot of his some things that happened in his backstory, but it's really satisfying to flush it out. Yeah. Cool. So that's our news segment. We're gonna move on to on this day in Star Wars history. Marty, take that away.
Alrighty then. This one's actually pretty historic in so many ways.
Oh my god.
On this day,
2012.
2012 Star Wars movies are announced as Disney enters an agreement to acquire Lucasfilm. And
Wow.
yeah, I knew it's been a while since then, but I didn't realize it's like at the same time it feels kind of recent still. Like it's far off at what it's 12 years old. That 12 been 12 years, but yet it still feels like at least 5 to me in my head. I was like that can't be that long.
Yeah, you don't think of it as 12 years. You think of it as like, oh, the Disney era. It was like a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing this and being like, I just was so, I guess, sad, but just I had accepted. It's like, oh, we're not gonna get any more Star Wars movies. We might get some like games if someone's creative or something, but or like more books, like novels and comics and whatever. But I didn't ever expect that we were going to be able to get more movies. So that was awesome. Hearing that we were going to get new Star Wars movies, I was like, it's just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, big day. Top that one. My God. It is now time for my dad joke of the week, and I was fortunate enough to find a Halloween themed one, kind of. So, without further ado, my old Jedi Master, he's a Force ghost now. I knew it as soon as he walked through the door.
Mhm.
Yeah, he walked through my door. He walked through it. Yeah. Yep, that's that one. Share that with your friends. Your dad will love it. Let's move on to our top 3, which is Halloween themed as well, obviously. This is our top 3 scariest villains. And I thought this was going to be easier than it was because they're like more occurred to me after I picked my 3. I was like, I should fit this one in. I should fit this one in. Luckily, Marty also picked like 2 of them, so we got him covered. I don't know how easy of a journey this was for you throughout the week.
It's been kind of difficult. Like same thing. I was like, how do I choose? And when I do choose, I think of more. And where do I fit them? Are they included in my top 3? How scary are they for that top 3 position? So there's a lot of debating, and then I think I'm satisfied with my top 3 choices.
Okay, good. Good. Yeah, I had a top 1 for sure, but then, like, the rest of them they're just scary in different ways, so I was like, I don't know. I don't know how to rank them.
Right.
So, your choices helped me out immensely. Yeah, so let's bring these up. All right, we're gonna start with mine because Marty's last one is the king of all scary, terrifying things. So, mine is Kamir, the stranger from the Acolyte. More so in the beginning before we like knew what his face looked like and like the mystery surrounding him, and also this mask. If you're listening audio you can't see it, but it's just in the first couple episodes all you saw was like this terrifying mask with these metal teeth that went up like into a big old grin. This smooth rounded scarred helmet with like the tiniest eye slit. Like you can't see anything out of that. It's like it's basically complete darkness in there, and the mystery surrounding him. And I think that the most terrifying moment, spoiler alert, sorry, was episode 4, the very end of episode 4. He slowly floats in behind May and just silently. He was just like this epic force of darkness just congealed into this moving being, and it was terrifying. And while I think he became a little less scary once he was flushed out and took his helmet off and talked, there were still terrifying moments because he would go from talking normally, like being almost empathetic toward May, and then all of a sudden he would pull out like a line like, "Oh, was that its name?" Talking about the Padawan he killed. Just, just. Oh, was that its name? Like that's a living being. Like that is terrifying. The ability to go back and forth from those two extremes is. I was just sitting there like, what? So, yeah, that's my number 3. Kamir, I'm trying to get his lightsaber. I like the lightsaber where you can take it apart and you have two. Like you have
It's
the
like
big
a
one, the little
little
one.
dagger one. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's apparently a real fighting style from, oh man, I forget the country. I read about it just for a second. I don't want to say it wrong, but apparently that's a real fighting style, which is really, really cool. Like a longer blade and then a shorter blade is based in real historical combat. So I thought that was cool. All right, so that was my number 3, Kamir, the stranger from the Acolyte. Marty, talk to me about this dude.
All right, yeah. So number 3 is Mithron Nurodo, aka Thrawn.
Oh my god.
He's just a menace, and I'm not gonna put Rebels into this. I mean, he was a little creepy in Rebels, but really, if you have read or listened to the audiobooks of the current canon stories, he is just like this powerhouse of like strategic warfare. This guy is like he'll be your friend, but at the same time, if you get on his bad side, you are done for. But really, this boils down to how creepy he was, and really, it's just his music in Ahsoka, like those creepy organs playing with the ship landing down, and then just everyone, all of his stormtroopers and his officers, just basically hailing him.
You mean
Yeah,
those
you
guys?
see, yes, yeah, those guys there, they worship this guy, and now he's working with witches. I just feel like it just makes him all even more creepier.
It's unfair.
Yeah, really.
He's OP.
But
Yeah, he
the red
yeah, he
eyes,
was.
really. I'll start with red eyes too.
Oh my god. And that's not even inherently evil. It's just like that's part of his race, right? That's part of his
Yeah,
species.
that's just his species. But imagine those in the dark, and all you see is just bright red eyes.
No, I'm not going to do that. Nope, I want to sleep. Yeah, he was on my list. He was one of the ones where like afterwards I was like, "Oh, Thrawn. Crap." And then you were like, "Oh, I have Thrawn." I was like, "Oh, thank God." Yeah, I think I was more intimidated by first of all, I'm so glad they chose you got to tell me the brother's name. Who's the actor? Mads? Am I wrong?
Lars.
Lars. Yeah, I'm so glad they chose Lars Mikkelsen to be him because he established the character so well in Rebels. His voice was just like he was the biggest threat in the whole series of Rebels, and he would just calmly bring death, and like you were outmaneuvered, and he would just calmly explain that you were outmaneuvered, and calmly just like take control, and the calm was the most terrifying part. Like he would just be talking about how he was planning for your whole crew or your whole city to be bombarded, just the same with the same inflection that he would just talk about like the weather today. And I thought Lars Mikkelsen pulled that off really, really well. And when I got the news, like I heard it wasn't because I think he even came out and said it's like, oh, I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard that I'm doing anything or anything more Star Wars. And then they announced it at Comic-Con. He walked out on stage. He's like, I'm Thrawn. And they're like, yes! Like everyone who had seen Rebels was like super pumped about it.
Yeah, I feel like if anyone from the animated series can come into live action, I'm glad it's him.
Oh yeah.
I would love for everybody else, but him, he is Thrawn.
Yep. Agreed. And he really was only in Ahsoka for like an eye blink. So I really do want to see I hope in season 2, and I guess maybe if he's the big baddie in the Mando movie. That whole universe there. I hope we get to see more of his badassery because it is worthy.
Oh yeah.
All right, so those are our number 3s. Moving on to my number 2, I have the classic Palpatine. I think what's scary about him is just the raw power, the raw force power, and the connection to the dark side that he possesses. He like the ability to just not think twice about destroying a whole planet full of people and culture and life. Just it's just terrifying that a being is capable of that. And if you look in episode 9, like his connection to the Force, I know he was like with Exegol, and there were his whole cult was there, and there might have been extra factors at play, but he just went like this and like took out an entire fleet. And if you read the novels, like the Rogue Squadron novels, they were explaining like the Empire was not terrifying just because they were a massive force. The Empire was so effective. The fleets, the Imperial fleets, were so effective because Palpatine was able to connect them and their movements and their coordination through the Force in a way that no other leader of any fleet could. So even in situations where they might be outgunned, they are moving with a unified purpose because it's all there through Palpatine's Force vision. And I didn't realize that, but that's also why like the Empire was so easy to defeat after he was gone, is because they weren't united like that anymore. They weren't moving as a unit. They weren't like unknowingly forced into this coordinated operation. It was just every man for themselves. They have no guidance, they had no direction, and those existing remnants were just torn apart. And I didn't realize that before I read those novels, and I thought that was really interesting. So just the raw power to influence a whole galaxy. I don't want to be on the same like galaxy with him. I don't want to be in the same solar system, anything. Good
Yeah,
God.
I don't blame you one bit. This guy gives me the creeps, and I don't know it. I too wouldn't be in the same galaxy as him. I'd probably move over to where Peridia is just to get away from him.
Yeah. Is that where what's it called? Is that where they went to in the Ahsoka show? I don't know what Peridia is.
Yeah, that's the planet in the different galaxy where they found Thrawn.
Nice. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I'll hang out there until he's gone. Like gone. Also, just look at him. I mean,
That's menacing.
I will say I did enjoy that one part in Clone Wars when Maul and Savage were like gaining power and forming a cabal with all the crime syndicates and stuff. And then Palpatine was like, "You are becoming a threat." And then just it was like bad guy versus bad guy, and he just took him out. It was great. I enjoyed that. That was fun. It's like, oh,
Sweat off his brow.
you're gonna use your evil for good accidentally. So I'll take it. So that's my number 2. Palps. Is that this one? All right. Talk to me about your number 2. Also from Clone Wars.
Also from Clone Wars, Mother Talzin, aka the Great Mother, aka the mother of all the Night Witches of Dathomir.
Yes.
I put her at my number 2 because let's just face it, she's created such villains as Maul and Savage just for the sake of the Sith. So she has that ability. She also has the ability to raise the dead, and have zombie Night Sisters to defend the Coven from the droids, from the clone, as you've seen in the Clone Wars. I mean, they didn't last very long because the droids were actually stronger. But this woman right here, she just won't die. I feel like they've killed her, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
But
I thought so. I think I am rusty on this part. I know Count Dooku took his armies, or was it Grievous? Took his armies. It
yeah,
was Dooku because after the assassination attempt.
Grievous. He
Oh, was
sent
Grievous?
Grievous to
Okay.
do it.
All right. Yeah, Grievous took his armies and wiped them out, but I feel like she found a way through her planet magic to
Yeah.
survive, right?
Yeah, and
I
then
think.
she's able to communicate like literally through magic and things like that. Like spiritually project yourself somewhere else with magic.
Yep. Yep. And like control or take over things,
Yeah,
places,
y- yeah, she can
like possess
control
people.
people.
Yeah.
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 Um, and
She's
not to
got
mention just her voice too. It's like that roaring echo behind her actual voice. So it's like that echoing.
it's like the planet is talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
that yeah, I think she's extra scary because it's a power. Her power is like it's similar to the Force, or it might be partly the Force, but there's also like an aspect of it that no one else understands. Like her connection to Dathomir and her connection to the planet is just so unique and mysterious and powerful that it's like, do you really want to go up against it? Like, I guess if you have literally unlimited droids to throw at her, then sure. But like, I'm not going there.
I'm sure if she could, though, she probably would have found a way to use her magic and take the destroyed droids, put them back together, and then go back out to defeat them. But I think she was
Ooh,
just
I like it.
a little overwhelmed at the moment.
Like the Night King. I like
Yeah.
it. Oh yeah, Rayside. Yeah, this is. I assume she's talking about our costumes because we look amazing. Um, yeah. So all right, that was your number 2, and we're moving on to our number 1s now, right?
Hmm.
All right, this is my number 1. I don't know. It's just this was as soon as I knew we were doing this, I knew this was my number 1. Darth Vader has been the most like imposing, like iconic villain for you know what I'm gonna say, like 47 years, however long Star Wars has existed. It's like if you think bad guy, this is the guy you think of. And I know the lore wasn't all there like through the first part. It was like, oh yeah, he's the bad guy. He's a Sith or he's the Emperor's whatever. Um yeah, but like as soon as we knew all of the things that he had done, he immediately takes the cake from me. He's he's huge, first of all. Just like what's he like with his armor and stuff? He's like 7 feet tall. Um and like he's not he's not the most like he's not jumping around doing somersaults like other like people he's fighting because he literally doesn't have to. He like if you're doing all that stuff around him, he will just hold you or push you or like ruin whatever you're doing and just like overpower you with the dark side to the Force. His anger and his rage, his everything that's dark within him, even though there's still a little good there, everything dark within him is so much more toxic and uh intense than whatever you're bringing to the table that you're not going to win. It took his own son multiple tries to get him there. And there's just like this hallway scene in I don't know if this is the exact scene. I just googled hallway scene, but the hallway scene in Rogue One, I think, is how we normal people should be viewing Darth Vader. He is just the villain of all villains. I know he is second to the Emperor some of the time, but I mean you got to remember he did defeat the Emperor too, and he is the villain of all villains for me. And in many, just in so many moments, just the scariest dude. Like he he made his fortress all scary. Every single entrance he has is all scary. If you follow the memes, like he uses the Force to wave his cape in a dramatic fashion. Like he's just
Yeah.
if you're on his best, if he wants you dead, sorry, bruh. Like there's no way.
Not only is he scary, he is very dramatic.
That too. Yep.
I guess that's how you become scary. Is that you got to be a little dramatic about it. Like
Yeah, I
right
mean, you gotta
in that photo
if
right
you
there, he's got the red light behind him.
right, like where does that red light? It's not from his lightsaber because his lightsaber's in front of him. So he's got to have like Okay, so for my entrance into this enemy ship, I need you to blow the smoke machine, and I need you to shine that big red light. And then I'm going to walk out and ignite my lightsaber, right? Like, that's totally something you would do.
Right. I mean, that's typical Anakin if you think about it. Like he was
Oh, yeah.
very thematic and dramatic.
Oh, yeah. Yep, he didn't lose that part of himself, so I guess that's good. All right, tell me about your number one.
All right, this dude is just straight up creepy. I didn't think of anything could be as creepy as Dark Yoda from season 6 of the Clone Wars, and he only appears in one episode. Thank goodness, because it's a he kind of reminds me of Gollum a little bit, the way he's climbing up the walls and
Oh, my God.
just jumping down on him on the Yoda like that. Got very Gollum vibes, but just that creepy little figure. And it's Yoda's speech, but it's not his pattern. He speaks normal.
Oh, I hate
So
that.
yeah, so it's normal to talk like this, and it's just
Oh my God! First of all, great impression. Second of all, but
thank
I
you.
hate that. If you do that, if you have that accent, you need to talk like backwards, like the Yoda way.
Exactly. I mean, I guess it's got to be the opposite in some ways, right? So if Yoda speaks in one way and he's a very
Oh yeah.
pure and good, you might as well have the dark side of the Yoda,
Yep.
evil and speaking right.
Yep.
And those glowing red eyes. He's like a gremlin.
I think I may have just blocked this out just from the trauma of watching it because I don't remember much about this episode, but seeing this, I'm like,
Yeah, this was kind of like his version. I'm pretty sure he was actually on Dagobah, where he went to the dark side tree, where he had to face
right.
his fear, the dark side.
Yeah, I guess I guess that's how he knew what it would show Luke because he had done it himself. He'd made that journey.
Yeah, and the only thing he
Ah!
had to fear was it was fear himself.
Yep. Good lord. Yeah, no, that is a fitting number one for this scary Halloween episode. That is just terrifying. Well done. I don't think I would have thought of that. That was not on my
I
radar
think
at all.
he was the first one on my list.
Yeah,
I was
no,
like, Dakota, gotta have him.
that's where he belongs. That's why I put him last. That is I don't like even Vader, I feel like would go in there and see him and be like, nah.
I'm just gonna turn
I'm just
around and
gonna
walk away.
go this way. Yeah. Anyway, those are our top 3 scariest villains. If we missed one, let us know. Let us know what you think. Let us know who you're scared of in the Star Wars universe. But for right now, we are going to move on to. Let me get the banners up here. Discussion. It started off. I'm just calling it Goosebumps of Star Wars. It started off as just like we wanted to talk about a certain book series that we have. That Marty specifically remembers because I actually never read them. But then I wanted to just open it up to other just generally scary stories or scary parts of the Star Wars universe. So, without further ado, there's this series called Galaxy of Fear. I don't know. I know you can't see it like on the audio, but the first book is called Eaten Alive, and there's like this just like multi-layered image of like a really creepy, like sharp-toothed, dark-eyed creature. I don't even know. Even the one that doesn't have the teeth is like horrifying. Like the smile is just wrong. So yeah, well, I never read this, but Goosebumps of Star Wars. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I've only read a couple of these books that when they came out. Well, when I was younger, because these came out like of '97 to October of '98. I was really little, so it was like more like around the time of like 2002, 2003. I was going through books trying to find something, and I saw these. I picked up maybe a couple of them. Wasn't in order because I didn't know anything really about orders of these books because I was small. But I read them, and I thought they were good. Kind of forgot about them all these years until here the past couple years. I was thinking, it's like, you know what? These books kind of remind me of Goosebumps, just, I mean, look at the cover. It kind of gives me the Goosebump vibes.
Oh,
The
yep.
Galaxy of Fear font itself is kind of like the Star Wars version of the Goosebumps font, like that big G, the way
Yeah.
it dips down,
It's like
all
clearly
Goosebump.
supposed to be like intimidating or menacing.
Yeah, and they had 12 books of these, and some of them they have some very interesting names that really feel very Goosebumpish, like City of the Dead, Ghost of the Jedi, Army of Terror, the
Okay.
Brain Spiders. Just to name a few. But I mean, these guys were kind of terrifying, and it just follows. So this whole story follows two humans named Tash and Zach Aranda. I might be pronouncing that name wrong. With their Shioto uncle, and Shioto is a species that can shapeshift, and his name is Mammon Hool,
Oh, good.
along with their along with their protocol droid DV9.
Shapeshifting is
Um,
always good. It's not
yeah,
it's not
and so
malicious at
these
all.
no, and these books take place 6 to 18 months after A New Hope, um, and it features cameos from characters such as Luke, Vader. Vader's actually part of the second to last book called The Clone, where if you can see the cover, it is Vader fighting a clone of Vader.
Oh my. Okay. Well, let me just search that real quick. What's the cover? What's it called?
The Clone,
Uh,
Galaxy of Fear, The Clone.
Galaxy. Sorry, my microphone cord is in front of my thing. Fear.
Oh, you're good.
The clone. I promise I can type fast. Galaxy of Fear.
Yeah,
Clones.
yeah. Okay, so it's clones. So if you look at the
Oh,
cover of it,
okay. No, that's tiny. Hold on.
it's very '90s too,
All
especially with
right.
that
Maybe I can.
cover with the glittery looking
Oh,
font. Yeah, kind of
okay. You
tiny.
can kind of see it's tiny, but yeah, that's two Darth Vaders fighting. That's not. I mean, I
I
guess
mean, I kind of
depending on whose
wish.
side you're on, that's not what you want.
No, I kind of wish I had read that one. I haven't. I've come across it. I think I was about to start reading it, and then I think I moved to a different school, so I had to put it back and never could find it again.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of sucked.
Yeah, that's one of the I have some Jedi Apprentice books that I know might have gotten lost to time. It's hanging out with my Pokemon cards somewhere.
But I think you can find these on Amazon. I might try to purchase the set just because it might have some nostalgic value to it,
Yeah.
along with another series. Now I forgot the whole series name, but it has uh, Mount Yoda as one of the books in that series. So I enjoyed that series too. So it might be two series of Legends books of I would say middle school, young adultish. I might be getting here.
Nice. Good. Yeah, I need to look harder into ordering the the Jedi Apprentice because it really made me it's just they were just such good stories and they fleshed out the characters of Qui-Gon and early Obi-Wan so much, and then later the Jedi Quest was Anakin being trained by Obi-Wan, and you could tell that
Mm.
it was connected to Jedi Apprentice. They even had like a couple of crossover books where it was like through time. You would read like the first half in Jedi Apprentice time and then the second half like later on.
Huh.
Um it was very cool. Uh yeah, so anyway, Galaxy of Fear. So that's one scary option here. I also wanted to bring up, as we talked about, the Thrawn's Stormtrooper zombies. I I I require more information. I guess I mainly saw oh hey DB. I see Cat
Uh,
Bane.
so
Um
I think maybe I wasn't clear. I want to specify as DV as in Victor 9.
sorry, what?
When he said DB who, I'm gonna make sure I actually said DV as in V as in Victor.
Oh, nice. Okay. Um, yeah, the what was I talking about? Oh, these. I assume these were put together by the Dathomir witch magic, right? I mean, because he's working with them, they can put a legion together, and I don't have a picture of him, but the main one with the gold face, the actor is one of my. All right, got it. Listen, I'm not gonna say exactly how much I have drank today, but like, yeah, if it's there, like, if you say DV, I'm gonna hear DB, and if you say DB, I'm gonna hear DV. I don't. There's all kinds of different combinations that can go from. Also, this helmet, these headphones are not the best headphones. There's a lot. There's a lot of margin of error in this whole process. Yeah, this is good energy. This is positive. I'm not mad. I'm gonna be scared. I'm sitting here waiting for my stepson to just come terrify me. I'm just like checking I don't know. Ah. Anyway, what was I talking about? Zombies, stormtrooper zombies. Look at them.
Yes.
They're terrifying. Oh, the main guy with the gold face. He's the same actor from another space show I love called The Expanse. Not the main actor. He's the main actor for me. I forget his name, but it's great, and The Expanse is great. But I want to know more about these. Like, how undead are they? Like, what? So they can't take their armor off. Like, their armor is fused. Like, it's a part of them. I have technical questions.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, they're already trying to keep their armor together. What's the point? I mean, they might as well just be dead already because they look like they've seen some quite a bit of damage here to themselves,
Yeah,
which I would say they probably have died one or two times.
yeah, right. I mean, this armor. I mean, famously, this armor. What does this armor protect against? Like, it doesn't even protect against rocks from Endor. Like, so, like, what?
No.
I mean, it's shattered. This armor here is shattered. Look at it. Anyway, zombie stormtroopers, pretty Halloweeny. I also get terrified by the. This is the Yushan Vong. I don't know much about him. Don't. Uh, I don't know. Like, I never read the books that have them. I know they're the EU. They're not canon, but I know they kind of sweep and take over the whole galaxy, and that's like or the threat is that they're going to take over the whole galaxy. And I don't. I mean, if it's that big of a threat, that's pretty terrifying. And I'm looking at them right now. They look like they look like, I think they called them Reavers from what's it called? Firefly. That's what I think of when I hear of the Yushin Vong. And these are, yeah, yeah, that's what I don't
Yeah.
I've seen a few pictures of them here and there, and I never read any of the books. I would love to. I don't even know. Do you know any books that these are mentioned in? Because I shamefully do not.
Man, now that you brought me on the spot, the names are blanking.
But they do exist. There are books
They
written
do
about it.
exist. There are
Okay,
books,
all right,
there's a series of books about the Yushan Vong War.
right, okay.
Uh,
That's what I thought.
but these
And
guys right here remind me of like zombie space elves.
right. So, oh, did I just find it like a bad photo of them? It says Yushan Vong
No,
Warriors.
no, I mean these are what they look like. That's just what they remind
Okay.
me. What they look like
Oh
to
yeah, yeah,
me
yeah.
is
Yeah, once I get past like how like objectively terrifying they are, the armor actually looks like really cool. It's like yeah, there's like elvish qualities.
yeah.
Um yeah, and then the last thing I had for extra scary Star Wars stuff is Abeloth. Um First of all, an aboleth is a monster from Dungeons and Dragons that is like a space or a sea, like it's a big old snake type thing that lives in the water. But I don't know if anyway. Uh, if you saw the Mortis episodes of the Clone Wars, and there were a few about this art in Star Wars Rebels. They're basically like Force gods. this is the father, this is the daughter, this is the son, and they never mention the mother in Clone Wars at all. But in Legends, we know that the mother is a creature called Abeloth, and she is terrifying. Like, she is so strong and so just like just a force of destruction. And whenever I read like what she's about, I secretly want it to be brought up in Ahsoka season 2 or that Mandoverse movie. I know it probably won't be, but I just want to know. This is like terrifying art. She's like a force witch of godlike degree of power. And so yeah, I just that's you think Halloween, scary Star Wars, I had to throw her in here.
She kind of reminds me of Melina from Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah. She could have some of those moves, some of those like underhanded. Yeah. I like it. Anyway, scary stuff
Seriously.
for Halloween. There's tons of if you're in a horror mood but you still don't want to get out of Star Wars, there's plenty of reading that you could get done here.
I do want to make honorable mention of if people do want to read scary Star Wars stuff, is Death Troopers. It came out in 2009 by Joe Schreiber. I think Schreiber. Go check that out. Scary stuff. You like that? Check out the prequel called Red Harvest.
Red Harvest. I already hate it. Those two words together, that's already scary. You know what I mean? Red Harvest.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay.
Yeah.
Goosebumps of Star Wars, speaking of. All right. Culture Spotlight is our next segment. And this isn't exactly Halloween themed, but we just kind of landed on it. I don't know how, but it's sabacc, the card game. So couple different directions here. So the first reference I ever heard of sabacc was that it's the card game where Han won the Millennium Falcon from Lando. And they do show it in the Solo movie at the end. And they do a big old misdirect because you think it happens halfway through the movie, but it doesn't, which is great. Spoiler alert. But very cool. And it sets it up for later in the movie. The extra scene after the credits or whatever. I don't think it's after the credits. It's not. They didn't do the Marvel thing. It's just at the end. But that's how I knew it for years and years. It's just called sabacc. It's just a card game in Star Wars. I kind of pictured it like poker. But they flushed it out recently. For one thing, they made this thing, this product that you can buy. We got it from the Disney park. It's like a sabacc set. Like it's a card set. It comes with 2 dice. It has all the the cards, like there's a 0 card and a Psylop and all the parts of the game that exist, but it's actually a different type of sabacc, which I didn't know until Marty got me on this rabbit hole this week. It's a different, that type of the game is called Corellian sabacc, and the type that is in this movie is called, no, you know what? In the movie, it might also be Corellian sabacc.
Yeah, it's Corellian sabacc in the movie.
Okay.
As well.
And then, but in Star Wars Outlaws, which is obviously a massively popular game right now, and also a massively popular mini game in the game, is sabacc, and they play Kessel sabacc, which has different rules and it has tokens that don't exist in my game, and there's just a little bit of the rules are different, but it's, in my opinion, after reading the rules of mine, Kessel sabacc is way more fun. And you found an app, right? That we've been playing on.
Oh yeah. I found the app. I'm in a group called Star Wars Sabacc Trading, and I can't remember who it was. I can't remember if they're owner of an Etsy shop, but I'm kind of looking into getting some real sabacc cards. But they created this app, you could only play through like the test apps. So like Test Flight for iOS, and I can't remember what the Android one is. And so you would download that, then you would download the game that way because it's in beta form. So it'd be the only way to play it. So after that, I played it a little bit. I was like, this is really fun. I've played it a little bit in Star Wars Outlaws. I got the app, and then I had to get you onto it. So
Wait a minute. Dev of what? Wait, the sabacc game or Star Wars Outlaws or what? Because either way, I want more.
yes, yes. Oh, yes. This would be great.
Yeah, I want more. I want more sabacc. I don't have Star Wars Outlaws, but I have been. Marty got me the Kessel Sabacc beta app. Excellent, dude. Okay, listen. Marty got me on this app. He was like, "Hey, there's an app you can try and play," and I was like, "Nah, I don't." I was like, I'll check it out." Like I downloaded it, and then it didn't have instructions right away. Like you just have to like launch into the game. So I was like, nah. But then I read the instructions of my game, and then I joined a few games on your app. I have not been able to put it down, dude. It's so freaking fun. It's like I used to play like online Facebook poker with, it's not real money, but like Zynga had this little poker thing. It's like the Star Wars version of that. It's so fun. I always feel so smart when I win and so stupid when I lose. Like especially with the tokens, like I know they're going to cook the books. I know they're going to put the cook the books token. I should keep my sixes, and then I drop them, and I'm like, oh, 2 2s. It feels pretty good. And they drop that cook the books token. And I'm like, dang it. Whatever. Anyway, you're doing great work. I want whatever needs to happen to make that an app that I can just download and I can just play. I want that to happen. So excellent
Yes,
stuff there.
yes. I love this game too. I couldn't put it down as well. It was a little bit harder for me to find some people to play with, but once I got to play it, oh man, I couldn't stop. I've won a few hands, lost a few hands, but
Yeah, I have the notifications on. I wonder if it's like location based, because I've gotten like, especially once dinner time hit here, I've been getting like just there's tons of rooms open. So I wonder if my northeast eastern seaboard area is just more hopping or something.
that may be. I mean, I found a few tables, but once I sit and wait at the table, though, I'm just like, can we hurry up now? I think we got enough players. Enough
Oh yeah,
players.
like some people just open a table and then just sit there. It's like, we're all ready. You got
Yeah,
4 of us here. What are you waiting for? Let's go. We're
yeah. That's
trying
the
to play
annoying
Star
part.
Wars cards. Come on. Feel like a gangster when I win, like a Star Wars, like I feel like I'm like a syndicate. Like, yeah, you don't mess with me. You don't roll up in my house, try and take my credits. Whatever. Seems like mostly US users right now working on notification settings while listening. Nice. Okay, dude.
Nice.
Thanks for all your work. It's incredible. It's great.
Oh yeah, we love it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our culture spotlight. Oh my god. No, I didn't believe it. Like my wife even said, like
uh,
he said, come over here. Come over here. He said that he was gonna scare me, and I was like, you're not gonna be able to scare me because I'll see you coming up on the, you got your Halloween costume on too and everything. I was like, you're not gonna be able to scare me because you're like, oh, my lightsaber died. R.I.P. You're not gonna be able to scout because I can see the hallway over here. And he was like, yeah, but you're really focused when you're podcasting. And I was like, no, I'm not that. I can see movement. And my wife was like, nah, dude, you're really focused. Like, you're not gonna see. I'm with him on this, and it freaking worked. Well done, sir. My God. All right, go downstairs.
oh man,
I
that
have
was sort of
enough
an
of you.
instant replay. We need an instant replay of that.
We'll clip it. I'm sure we'll clip it. Good Lord. All right. Well, now that, can you talk while I get my heart rate back down?
All right. I guess before we move on from the spotlight, I want to mention there is one more Sabacc game that you can play because they kind of taught people who were able to get onto the Galactic Star Cruiser hotel. They have a special version called
Oh,
Coruscant Shift.
Okay.
You can find the rules on Google as well. They all have all different rules. There's another one. They all have different rules, but these three are the ones that you can actually play with real rules. So like that
Okay.
sabacc deck you got in your on your desk, learn those rules. You can play that version.
Yeah. I do want to. Yeah. Actually, he and I were talking about. We do want to play it. So we are going to check that out maybe this weekend or something.
I got the mini. I got the mini set. Man, I wish I had it. That when Solo came out, I got the sabacc deck there. It comes with a couple of dies and some fake chips and whatnot.
Yeah. One thing I appreciate about the die here is that they have. I don't feel like pulling them out right now, but they have the symbols on there that are on the cards for the numbers instead of like Star Wars versions of the normal numbers.
Yeah,
And so I will have to learn like what the number. I know that the triangle diamond thing is one, and like I know a couple of them, but I will have to learn them to read the dice, and I appreciate that. They're making me put the work
yeah.
in. I like that.
Get a little
Um,
cheat sheet next to you.
yeah, exactly. Oh, I'll have to have that for a while. But yeah, sabacc. Check out the app. Go to Test Flight and look for sabacc. It's super fun. I hope it becomes an app. Yeah. Super cool to have Adrian on here with us. Real time dev in the
Yeah.
comments.
If he has
Thanks.
anything else he'd like us to mention, or if he's got anything to mention as well, we'll put it up as for anyone to see.
Yeah, let us know what you need. For right now, let's move on. Star Wars trivia, like we always do, and I believe Marty's got something special queued up for us.
All right. Yes, I do. Ta-da!
Boom.
I Halloweenified it.
Love it.
I thought it was very appropriate. Although the only thing Halloweenified is the cover, but that's okay. That's
That's
okay.
okay. Hey, it looks
That's all
great.
that matters.
I like it. I like the spider webs.
It was literally the last
Nice.
second too. As we were hopping on and getting ready, I was like, you know what? This needs to be more Halloween. Throw it
Nice
together
touch.
really quick.
Nice touch. All right, let's do this.
Might be a tradition. All
Yeah.
right,
I got
so
like 3 out of 5 last time, so there's no pressure for me at all.
yeah, this one might be a little tough for everybody. Like I said,
Good.
I had to
Bring
go
it.
to the bowels of Star Wars trivia for some of these. All right. Question one: Clotho, Actropa, and Lexus are the names of who? A. Jedi, B. Night Sisters, C. Senators, or D. Bounty Hunters?
Yeah, I have no idea, but I can make a complete guess, and hopefully it turns out right. Oh,
And
sorry,
luckily,
I forgot the little spiel. Oh,
oh yeah,
he says for sure, app is on both iOS and Android with crossplay. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, get on there.
nice.
Get on there. I'll play. I'm always on there as Broba Fett. So if you see a Broba Fett on the app, that's me. I host. If no one's on, I host tables sometimes. So jump on there.
Mine's just my name, my handle from
Yeah,
Instagram.
Marty 21794. I saw you on there. I saw you waiting in a table that they didn't start the game. I jumped in for a little bit.
Yeah,
They didn't start the game. Whatever.
it happens.
Yep. Sorry, I forgot to give my trivia spiel. If you're listening in and you want to play, go ahead and go ahead and put your guesses in the comments. Just honor system. Boba Fett is already GOAT. Yeah, that's right. You should see my wins, dude. I won like 4 in a row today. Felt so good. And then I lost like real bad. Like in round 1. It was ugly. Lost so fast.
Hey, you can buy the real cards too and play it with real people at event or something. Hyperspace. I forgot the Etsy shop. I'll send it to you later. But they have the actual Kessel Sabacc cards you can play at
Yep.
home.
I'm gonna look into that because I think I like that version better. Anyway, sorry, I forgot to give my trivia spiel. You could totally put your answers in the comments. Just at the end, we'll show all 5 answers. So just honor system, let us know how well you did. So I see we got some guesses in the comments already, D and B. My guess is also one of those. I will not say which one. So yeah, let's keep it going.
All right. Luckily, there's no visual, so I won't have to explain anything this
Oh, that's good.
time. Question 2. The Galactic Empire's Imperial Military Department of Advanced Weapons Research project that oversaw unlocking immortality is called, aka the Sickness. Is it A, Necromancer, B, Shadow, C, Blackwing, or D, Dreer?
I actually know this one. Was teaching my toddler how to evil laugh the other day.
All right, question 3. What are the creatures Hera and Sabine encounter on Fort Anaxis? Is it A, Tibides, B, Minox, C, Acles, or D, Firenox, or Fearnox? I never pronounced that one.
See, I felt good, and then I didn't feel good. I shouldn't tinker. All right, I gotta guess. I feel good. I felt good right away.
Good.
I gotta go with that. Yeah, I gotta stick with my gut.
Question 4. A brain worm infected which clone trooper to start infecting others aboard the medical frigate? This is from the Clone Wars arc. Is it A, Scythe, B, Trap, C, Edge, or D, Havoc?
No way. That's a good question. I don't remember.
It's gonna be the one you least expect.
Yeah, that's one of my stepson's favorite arcs in Clone Wars. If he had a top 3, that would definitely have been on his list.
I enjoyed that arc a lot too.
Yeah, it was good.
All right. Our last question, also a Legends question. Question 5. The sickness had its first outbreak in the year 3645 BBY on this planet. Was it A, Odysser Faustin, B, Korriban, C, Coruscant, or D, Kesh?
I'm thinking I gave this one a 50-50 for me, and I hate it. I hate what I decided.
Well, we're about to find out.
Yeah, all right, show me the pain. I'm guessing I got 2 out of 5.
Number 1 was B, Night Sisters. 2 was C, Blackwing. 3 was D, Fearnox or Firenox, depending on how you pronounce it. I forgot. 4 was A, Scythe. And 5 was also A, Odysser Faustin.
Yeah, 2 out of 5 for me.
How many did y'all get right?
Yeah, throw it up there. Anybody beat me? Anybody get 3? I got Odysser Faustin and I got Night Sisters. The other 3, you had good distractors. Oh yeah, let's party! Less than 50% club. Oh, for here must be a normie. Yo, you and me both. Don't Marty.
Like I said, I had to dig through these, especially with these being Halloween related. There wasn't a whole lot, so I had to dig down to find some of these. So with these ones, I'm not looking for everyone to get all of these right. Even if I took this test without making it, I probably would have had the same amount.
If he hears someone like me say, "Oh, I got 5 out of 5," he takes that personally, and then he comes back and hits harder the next week. No, they were great questions. Thanks. Yeah, he's got. I like finding this. I've come up with trivia questions for like, I don't know, various reasons before, like Star Wars trivia. And I go to like, I don't know, my memory's in like a few sources, but I really like how it's never the same questions that Marty comes up with. So every single week I'm like, I don't have a clue. And that's great. That's fun. I want to learn this stuff. All right. So that's the end of trivia. And that is toward, oh, sorry. We both picked it
did at the same time. You go ahead.
All right. Did it. All right. So that's the end of trivia. That's also the end of our podcast. we hope you enjoy what we're doing here. We had a lot of engagement in the comments this time. Welcome, Adrian and DB. We know Star Wars fandom and comment sections can sometimes get unnecessarily dark and toxic, whether or not it's Halloween, but it doesn't have to be that way. We are trying to bring fun and positivity and excitement to the Star Wars side of the internet. Remember, there are more of us. Again, if you have anything at all for us, questions, requests, suggestions for future segments, anything at all, throw them in the comments and we will see what we can do. Little bit of a plug here for our personal accounts. I am Nerdiest Stepdad. I am on almost every platform there is. Marty is on Instagram, Marty21794, and he just recently joined TikTok. Is it the same? Got a bounce, but I subbed. Thanks, man. Love the Cad Bane profile picture too. He's up on the list of scary stuff, honestly. Great episode. Thank you. Thanks, Adrian. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for your work on that app. My God, I'm gonna do that like in 5 minutes as soon as I'm done here. I'm gonna play more.
Yes.
So Marty is on Instagram 21794. On TikTok, what's your handle?
It's still the same thing, Marty21794. I haven't done a whole lot this week just because work's gotten a little bit busy, so I'm gonna try to step it up a little bit. Right now, I only have 3 videos up. They're of my Yoda impressions. That's kind of what my TikTok might be for a little while.
Dude,
I might switch it over to somebody else.
That's what you want. Yeah. That's Dad Bane to you. I like it. Dad Bane.
Nice.
Imagine old, tired, like, I have so many ideas all of a sudden. Anyway, yeah, follow us. He's on, like I said, he's on Instagram and TikTok. He's also Facebook and Twitter. You might have to search his name though. But yeah, that's our show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Have a great week and have a happy Halloween. Ooh. Oh.